Welcome to the Code with Jason meetup. Today we're going to do some more live coding on SaturnCI. So a couple sessions ago, Ross, you were here. Maybe you were here too, Nick. We were trying to cache the bundle install, and since then I've decided that doing that was kind of out of sequence. I think there's some lower hanging fruit that would be wiser to address first. Um, And there's also some kind of supporting infrastructure stuff that I want to get in place first because it'll make that stuff easier and faster. Specifically, I want to get some better benchmarking in place. Um, I have these output logs of various sorts. This is like the raw system log. This is a report when the test suite finishes. And then this is the output of the tests as they run. And I want to add a fourth tab that shows us the performance benchmarks for the job runs. Um, but the code for these three tabs is pretty duplicative. And so last time I worked on this, I was in the process of drawing up that code. Side note about duplication. Um, the heuristic write everything twice is complete and utter bullshit. And dear viewer, I would invite you to go check out my post on duplication. It's just called duplication. You can find it by searching Code with Jason duplication. It's actually quite a nuanced topic. Um, and I invite you to go read that. Um, okay. So let me see where I left off. I'm trying to think of how to kind of convey the before and after, but maybe it's not necessary. Um, Before I deduplicate something, I often like to get them like almost identical. And so these three views had some differences among them, but now they're much more similar to how they were before. Or now they're much more similar than they were to each other before. And so you can see there's just like, excuse me, there's just those two lines that are different. Something that can be tough is drawing up things where like the shell is different. Or sorry, the shell is the same, but the inner part is different. Because it's not like we can just pass some argument or something like that. We have actual behavior in here that is different. And so here's my thought. And actually I had a better idea since this. So I think I want to do something like this. Build dot each job do. No, maybe even something different. No, I think that's good. Hmm. It's like I want to express that this is like terminal output because I have this like terminal tag thing. It makes it look, like black and terminally. Has a pre-tag, I think. Um, and I want to like indicate that that part is there. It's like, hmm, maybe a little bit of duplication actually is appropriate. Let me think. Okay, let's start over kind of from scratch. What if we do this? Okay. And then for each job, and this is the part that needs to like be different. And I guess the part that I'd be abstracting away if I do it this way is the job container, the ASCII job heading, and the nothing here yet message. Hmm. You know what? Maybe it makes sense to have these things taken care of by job container. Okay, here's what I mean. So the ASCII job heading, which by the way is this, um, that could be handled by job container, and maybe so could the nothing here yet part. And so then these three templates would still be pretty duplicative, but it's like if I deduplicated this any further, I would be hiding like essential meaning. And I'm not sure that that would be a win. Hmm. Actually, I have some other ideas. Okay. So I think we can progress towards something good one step at a time. Um, so here's what I think I want to do first. I think first I want to take the ASCII job heading and move that into the job container helper so that that part can get deduplicated. I'm going to go to application helper and put this ASCII job heading thing in application helper. Sorry, in job container. And can I just do that? I don't know if that's going to work, but we will see. Apparently that works. I like kind of don't believe it because that seems too good to be true. So I'm going to take that back out of here and verify that it's absent now. Yeah. Okay. It's very rare that things work on the first try like that, but it did. Okay, I'll commit that. Job output. Oh, see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why it's good to review your changes before ever commit, because this is like leftover junk from some experiments before. I don't actually want to commit this. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Um, what was that thing called again? ASCII job heading. So you try up ASCII job heading. Okay. Okay, so these things are slightly more dry now. Okay, now I want to take out the nothing here yet message. So this will be a little bit trickier. I think I want to make it so if job container is past a block that is empty, then I output nothing here yet. And if it has content, then I output the content. Okay. And this is the kind of thing I actually want to write a test for because it's going to be too tedious to test this manually. So, do I even have tests for this application helper at all? No, I don't. Okay. historically I've actually rarely used helpers. Um, and I rarely write tests for them because they're usually quite simple. So I don't know how. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT, help me write a test for application helper. For starters, I just want a test for job container. Okay, and I'll probably keep very little of this. I was mainly just interested in the shell. Application helper spec. Okay, doesn't even work anyway. Um, let's see, how is it initializing it? Helper.job container. Okay, this is like the main thing I was interested in. Okay, nothing here yet. So I'm going to say describe nothing here yet message. Wait, I'm using double quotes. There we go. Okay. Um, context. Context. What is it? Hmm. How do I generalize the thing? Okay, the job has some kind of, these are all some kind of logs or something. The job info is present, I guess I'll say. By the way, ChatGPT has a habit of writing fairly poor tests. Um, and when you see tests like this where it says like it does such and such correctly or whatever, that's no good because it's like, what does correctly mean? Instead of saying that's correct, let's say what it means for it to be correct. And this is a totally different test case anyway. Um, okay, in the case where the job info is present, it shows the info. Okay. And in the case where the job info is not present, it shows a nothing here yet message. Okay. So I'm actually going to do the second one first because for whatever reason, I feel like that's easier. Okay. And I'm going to hard code the current tab name because I think hard coded values are usually easier to understand in tests. So I'm going to say system logs. I'm going to go ahead and create a real job instead of stubbing one. Um, oh, and it's passing the block here. Okay. So this is where I would want to put the output of this, which in this case is nothing. So I guess to make it clear that it's nothing, I'll just put empty quotes. Okay, expect result to include nothing here yet. And I expect this test to fail because we haven't done anything to make it pass. Okay. Now, the dumbest way we can make this pass is this. I don't even know if my syntax is right. Okay. I'm gonna run that again. Okay, it passes. So by implementing that in this like hard-coded way, it forces us to write another test in order to write the code to make it actually work. Okay, so for this system log, I'm gonna say like build machine ready. We'll expect it not to include nothing here yet. And now it will fail. Okay. So now we can add our conditional. Let's see how we want to do this. Hmm.
Do you maybe want to consider not using a block at this point? Because it feels like you might just be pushed uh sending in like job.test report to it. Or do you want the build report.new to go in? Or yeah, sorry. So I guess in this case it's job.systems log.
Yeah, let's see. Let's take this out because we know we're not going to have that ultimately. Okay. So the first one is if job.systems system logs.present do this ANSI to HTML thing. And this is the same, but instead of system log, it's test output. And then this one's slightly different because not only is the conditional different, it outputs something different. Hmm. I'm actually not sure if we need that conditional. Let's see what happens if we don't put it. Um, yeah.
The build report is the only one I'm curious about when it's empty, if it still works. Because of that being an object, it might not return something that's empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a good point. Um, let's see. I don't think that's going to do anything different. Why would it? Um, okay, maybe I will. No, I'll keep it this way. Do I want a block? For some reason, I kind of like the block because it makes it clear, at least in my mind, it makes it clear that like that is getting output. Um, let's do this. Let's make this so that nothing here yet only gets added if the block is empty. Change this so the nothing here yet message only gets added if the block is empty. Okay. I don't like this way of doing it, but let's see if it at least makes the test pass. Okay. So the code sucks and it doesn't even work, so I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I was really wondering about the capture. I feel like I had never seen that in Rails. That
Oh,
was unusual.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
is that just okay? Okay, so that is something that's there. I'm just not used to using something like that.
yeah. I'm going to see something here. Okay, block.call. What do we get? Yeah. So we can just use block.call. So let's do this. If block.call dot blank um content plus equals that. I'm not crazy about that code, but let's see if it makes the test pass. Okay. Somehow it becomes nil from this. Let's see what's going on. Oh,
The
weird.
trailing
Okay, I
plus.
have a trailing plus there. Okay. And maybe this code is actually fine enough. If I find myself needing to add something to it, maybe that'll trigger me to refactor it somehow. But if this is all it's ever going to do, this is, even though it's kind of, I never like it when I like am doing something with the variable and then I mess with it and then I like have the variable just on the last line. Feels a little inelegant, but it's at least not hard to understand. Okay. So I'm relatively happy with this. And I'll run all my tests locally just to see if everything still passes. But I share your suspicion, Ross, that this might not work. Oh, something fails. Okay. ANSI to HTML helper. What test is this? Build duration spec. And also build status spec. Okay. Yeah. Test output line 5. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Excuse me. Okay. And where's the actual error? It's an ANSI to HTML helper line 18. Well, one way to deal with this,
I think I would go a little further back in the trace and see where that's called. Job container application helper line 25.
okay? Application helper line 25.
Yeah.
I am confused.
I think technically 24 and 25 are considered the same line.
Right.
So it could be,
But the ANSI thing is at least not directly getting called anywhere in here.
it's getting called in the block, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's getting called in the block, and so therefore, yeah, because this contains a reference to the block.
And you no longer have the conditional that is that's checking like the system log for presence before passing it to ANSI.
Yeah. You know what? We should do this. So I'm gonna run my other test to make sure that still passes. Yes. Okay, and then I'll run this. Okay, it still fails. Let's see why. Um, line 24, application helper, line 24. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. So why is it still
So if you
it,
go to system log the partials again that you're factoring out, one of them, yeah. So in this, you originally had an if statement above line 5 that
right,
checked if system logs if there was a presence there.
right.
So it
Um,
wouldn't call ANSI to HTML unless system logs was not nil.
oh yeah, and when it's doing okay, so here's the part I didn't understand. My reasoning was if the block is blank, then it should just return this content tag and be done with it. But by calling the block here, I'm calling this,
Yep.
and that's giving us problems. Okay. Okay. So we can do this return unless ANSI string dot present. Okay. Okay. I'll run all the tests. Okay. Dry up. Nothing here yet. Message. Okay. I'm gonna see how my builds are doing on here. Oh, it hasn't triggered any builds. That is surprising. Oh, I don't have ingrok running. Um, documents, code, Saturn. Okay. Okay. Let's open those again. So this is a bit nicer. I think it can be nicer still. What is terminal tag? Yeah, I don't see any reason not to move this terminal container thing inside of terminal tag. Let's move into the terminal tag helper. Okay. Okay, let's see if that looks as I expect. Oh, we lost the headings at some point. Okay. That wasn't caused by the change that I just made, was it? And I just accidentally quit my terminal. Okay, so we'll have to address that, of course. And let's address that first. So was that done here? I'm gonna do a git revert no commit. See if it brings them back. Yeah, okay. So that bug was caused by what we just did. Oh yeah, I think I want to have the ASCII job heading no matter what. Okay. So it's absent right now. Content tag. Yeah, okay. So we'll say content equals this. And if there's anything in the block, then we append this. Otherwise, we append this. Okay. Yeah, this is yet a third way of formulating it, and I think I actually like this best of all, provided that it actually works. Let's see if it does.
Yeah, it's more of an implicit return other than having that content return at the bottom and everything. I like it.
Yeah. Um, okay. Well, the test passed, but it doesn't actually put the heading in there, which is surprising because, it's right here. So what is the deal? ASCII job heading. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do this to try to see what's going on. Okay, so if I return it right there, then it works. And either way, I'm concatenating this.
Is it somehow, huh, like a weird string trying to add to a tag situation? But no, that can be done.
What if I take away that part? Oh, weird. I would have thought that if I do that, then it would be sure to show the headings. That's surprising. Okay, and what if I take away these? Interesting. So I think this block.call is messing with it. Yeah, it's like the block.call flushes it.
And is that why capture may be necessary?
Yeah. Okay. I'll call this job info. Put that right at the top. Okay.
So that's unusual, right? The block.call should be able to, if this was pure Ruby, you should be able to call that multiple times, correct?
Right.
Okay, so do you think that this is inherently something that Rails overrode for some reason?
Yeah, it must be that the behavior of the block that gets passed is such that it executes once and flushes itself so that every subsequent execution it doesn't return or output anything. I don't know why they chose to do that, but apparently they
Uh,
did.
it's interesting. It would be an interesting case study to figure out or find the like original Rails issue where they're like, no, this makes sense to do.
Yeah. Okay. I'll run all the tests. Okay. It's crazy what an eternity 15 seconds can seem like when you're just sitting here waiting for it. Um, okay. So I brought back the headings. Bring back ASCII headings. Okay, and now, yeah, we can move this terminal thing. Okay. And just as a manual check, yeah, this looks as I would. Uh-oh. Okay, so there's a bug there. Okay, these two are fine, but this one has a bug. Um, we can deal with that shortly. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. Terminal tag is kind of a misnomer now, though, because it's not just a single tag, it's a couple nested tags. I don't know what I want to call it. Maybe like terminal output or something. Okay. Okay. Okay, now do I want to leave it here or do I want to dry it up even more? So for each of the jobs, I'm doing this job container thing. Yeah, I feel like if I dried it up more than this, I would be obscuring things. And I would be like really coupling the behavior to the structure of the output in a way that's maybe not appropriate. Okay. So I'm happy with this at least for now. Now let's address this issue. Okay, so where's this happening? It's happening build report line 7. Okay, and do we have a test for build report? We have a test for build report row, but not build report itself. Okay, let's add one for build report. Okay. Split for nil. So content is nil. So let's add a case for when content is nil. Build report.new. Expect build report.2s not to raise error. Wrong number of arguments. Okay. So I think maybe we can just give it a default value of empty string. Nope. Okay, apparently if you explicitly pass nil, then that doesn't work. Interesting. Okay. Still doesn't work. Expected no exception, but was not given a block. I think my syntax was just wrong. Okay, great. Okay. So that is fixed. Okay. I kind of didn't notice we have this deprecation here. Deprecate constant without a deprecator. What the heck is that? I'm going to look at that because one of my kind of principles for this project is no broken windows, and this is a broken window. Any deprecation warning is. So let's take a look. Line 19. Interesting. Deprecate constant. Likely coming from a gem. We can probably bisect for this issue. We have this other warning. I'll address that shortly also. Okay, so can I do this? RSpec grep that. I'm gonna wait for that to finish. Okay, so I'm gonna put this into a shell script. Yeah, okay. And then I forget how to do this, so I'm gonna say, how do I perform a git bisect where the test is in a script called test.sh. Okay. First I shall do get bisect start and get bisect bad. And let's go back in time a ways. Just gonna pick a random point in time, like February 28th. We'll perform this test. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't remember ever having seen this before. Okay, so I'll do get bisect bad here also. Let's go back a bit further in time. Let's go back to January 17th. Okay. All right, so we gave it the good and bad.
So I just put in chat
Mm-hmm.
just one thing that might actually help where it seems like there's an active support config option to
Mm-hmm.
set the deprecation to raise an error instead of simply logging it. And
Oh.
you might, I don't know for sure, but this might actually give you a stack trace then.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Okay. I'm gonna finish my get
Sure.
bisect and then do that. Okay, get bisect run followed by your script. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so now I can just go hands off and bisect will do its thing using my script as the test. But wait, how does it know what I want? And exit status of 0 means, I don't know. I don't think this is right because I think my script will just return an exit status of 0 no matter what. How do I change my script so that it returns a 1 if the grep returns something and 0 otherwise? Okay, change my script to this. Then I'll do a get bisect reset, get bisect bad. Oh, okay. Um, and then a get checkout. I don't know if this is the right one. Yeah, pick up this, perform my test. Great. Get bisect. Good. Get bisect run. Okay, now it might work. I think this is only the second time in my life I used get bisect run. It was one of those things that was like just barely too annoying to bother to look up and figure out how to use it. And then ChatGPT brought it down from just barely too annoying to not too annoying, which is
It's
great. What's
it's
that?
really amazing. I've only used it a handful of times in,
Mm-hmm.
a over 10-year career.
Mm-hmm.
But when it works, it's magic.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, it was like it wasn't like crazily difficult to write that shell script, but like think of how long it would have taken me to come up with that on my own versus how easy it was to just have ChatGPT whip that up. Like in the time it would have taken me to do all this manually, including like looking up the docs to remember the command and stuff like that, it would have been faster for me to just do it all manually. What will be great is when we get to some point in the future where we can just say to AI, hey, there's this bug, figure out what it is, and it'll just do all that stuff. Have you guys, I assume you have you seen that new I forget what it's called.
Devin.
Devin. Yeah. Why do they pick the worst names for these things?
Just because it's a name that everybody would feel bad about being replaced by.
Oh, great, it's fucking Devin.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I saw just like a quick video on it and that it could only close 13% of GitHub issues or something that
Uh-huh.
it got applied to, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, and even if it did 100%, like, well, it's a whole different, this is a whole can of worms, but like it can figure out how to do stuff, but it can't decide what to do. So you
Yeah.
still need like an intelligent agent calling the shots. Okay. So apparently the commit was introduced, sorry, the bug was introduced by this bug fix. Okay, but that seems wrong, but maybe not. Okay, so let's do this. Let's git bisect reset, and we'll perform the test. I mean, that's kind of dumb. We can just run rspec at this point and observe that that's there. Okay, now we can do git revert no commit and put the supposedly offending commit. Yeah, it was wrong.
Yeah. That's weird.
All right, that's annoying. Okay, so git bisect start once again. Git bisect bad. Git checkout this one. Yep. Git bisect. Well, let me make sure that it's really good. Oh, okay. Oh, I was surprised that I had to do this, but this was I did a Rails upgrade and this was before the upgrade. So let's not mess with this because that's annoying. Let's do this. Let's go back to here. Wow, it was already present back there. I like have a hard time believing this. I don't remember that being the case. All right. Um, screw git bisect and all that. Let's just do your thing, Ross.
This is weird though, and I really wonder if it's like a bundle install that you like messing with bundle install in the last week. Maybe you upgraded something.
Right. Chat. How do I get back to the, oh, there we go. Okay. Yes. What is it? Deprecation. Deprecation.
Oh, it is. Oh no, disallowed deprecation standard. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Hmm.
So is it? Hmm, didn't seem to raise.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so I'm going to undo that since it apparently had no effect. And I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, so what's interesting is there doesn't seem to be any like Stack Overflow issue for that exact error, meaning that it might be kind of esoteric. So a really common mistake I see people making is they'll land on a GitHub issue and they'll like slowly and carefully read this and then like scroll down and slowly read this. And then like a a non-trivial portion of the time, there's like no answer. And so the whole thing was just a total waste of the time.
Yeah.
So I like to scroll down and look for thumbs ups. So we see this, but this is just like a complaint. Um, okay, so that's the bottom of it. Oh, what's stopping a new release? Okay, devise blah 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 was released with a fix for this. Okay, so evidently it's a devise issue. So bundle info devise. What version am I running? 481. Okay, let's upgrade devise. Yeah, I'm not specifying a version, so can I just do bundle? I always forget if it's update or upgrade.
I think it's update.
Okay. All right. So far, so good. Okay, we still get that other one, but that's not a surprise. Okay, upgrade the buys. And how's our builds doing over here? Okay, passing. That's good. Okay, and what is this other deprecation warning? I'm gonna scroll up because it's right here. Using the raise error matcher without providing a specific error, potentially allowing the expectation to pass without even executing the method you are intending to call. Without even executing the method you are intending to call, okay? Okay, let's open up this test. Line 26. Okay, job defined by abbreviated hash. Okay. Now it's asking, it basically wants us to ask for a more specific error, apparently. But I like, not only do I not care what kind of error it was, I don't feel like it's appropriate to specify a certain error because that's like too tightly coupled to the implementation. All I care about is that it doesn't like silently fail somehow. And I don't care about the specific manner in which it fails. I just want it to fail and do it not silently. Whoops. Um, so is there a way that I can just suppress this warning? Okay, yeah. Configuration on potential false positives. Maybe I want to put that in here. Hmm. I don't know where to put it. If I want to add this config, where do I put it? Oh, and I just noticed the time, got to wrap up in a second. Okay. It is stuck. I'm just going to take a guess. Do that. That clearly did not work. Okay. Oh, okay. Apparently I just put the entire thing like that. That feels weird, but okay. 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 I'm just going to run the entire test suite because I think it would feel nice to see nothing but green dots. Wonderful. Suppress, dumb, separate. No, that was not a deprecation even, just suppress dumb warning. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do, as always, want to leave a loose end hanging for next time. I was wanting to add a fourth tab here called events. So let's open that. And this is the old way. I had to copy all this stuff. That's no good. So the new way can be much nicer. It's just that. Let's see if that works. Okay. It seems to work. Well, that's not a very satisfying loose end. I'm done.
Do you want to add like a comment about adding timestamps or something to that?
Yeah, I think so. It's a good idea. Okay. Add events tab. Um, events HTML. I actually think I might want to make this a table. Oh, weird. Oh, it's a table for each event. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay. By the way, why am I even making this terminally? Oh, that looks bad. All right, I'll keep it terminal for now. Okay. And here, um, tr event, and then duration. Okay. I think it's safe to say that if I now pick back up and look at this diff, then that'll clue me in that the next thing I want to put is the duration for each event. Yes. Okay. Well, thanks as always for joining me, and I'll see you next time.